to take this spring clip, we're going to straighten it out and make a garden cultivator. We've already made a garden trowel, and I'm happy to know that it's already getting put to good use, so thanks for that, Ron. And you know, to stick with the spirit of spring and all that spring has to offer, which is usually a lot of yard work, we're going to go ahead and make a garden cultivator. So stick around and we're going to get this hot and get started. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to open this up on the horn with my 6-pound short handle sledgehammer. So far, so good. Alright, so this is like my third heat. Flip it around, get the other side hot now. Alright, so I got it straightened out. And then just like the spade, we're going to isolate some material. Still using the 6-pounder. A little bit too dark. Should have stuck it in a little bit further, but this is where we're at. So I took one more heat with the guillotine tool without you. And now I'm just getting some breathing room there. In the isolated section. So I'm going to start spreading this thing with weight. Use my other tongue. It's not a comfortable grip. So just like the little trowel, using the cross peen on it. To spread it wide. so it's been about 3 or 4 heats. And we're getting it down there. Probably right at about 3/8 of an inch now. For the design I have in mind, probably get it down to about 1/4 of an inch. All right, so it's actually the next day. Kind of ran out of day yesterday. Didn't realize how late it was. I knocked off about 6:30. Had to stop and start cooking some dinner. So we are still on the front, and we are still widening the front out. So this will probably be the last heat I film of this until I get ready to go to the next step. So we are probably down to about 5/16 of an inch. I think I'll use this 6-pounder to smooth it out before we go to the next step. All right, so I'm already seeing something I want to change. It looks like it's going to be the shape of the front. I'm going to use my straight peen and get this area between the tool and the handle closer to where it needs to be. All right, so figure out how much handle I want. I'm thinking right around there will be perfect. Yeah, that'd be good. Shaping the handle. I gotta get a lot nicer socket out of this piece of steel. It's about the same thickness as the trowel, but a lot thicker. So I might be able to get a socket that'll fit like a long handle that you can stand up and use. Alright, still on the handle. Alright, I will be for a while, so I'll bring you back when that is thin enough. Alright, so I'm going to switch my rounder. I'm getting it pretty thin. About 3/16 of an inch in some spots. A little thicker than others. I'm going to continue to flatten it out and get as many as the cross peen marks out as I can get. Alright, so I'm going to start working my way back up to the front. The last part of the cultivator is going to start to roll with the handle. That'll make sense soon, I guess. I hope. So I want it to kind of fan out to the tongs of the cultivator. Might be a little long. Really depends on how long I want the little prongs to be, or the tines. I think we can just about start to round the handle up. Yeah, I misspoke. We are not going to do that. We're going to continue to lay the tool out. I think I'm going to have way I don't know about way too much, but I think I'm going to have too much out here. So I'm going to want it to come out and curl down. I don't know. It's going to be pretty close. Alright, so I'm going to take a normalization cycle here and let it cool down, not really do anything to it. I'm going to lay out the I'm going to lay out the front of the tool. And get ready to make the tines. Get the tines forged. Do some final fiddling and shaping. And roll the handle up. Alright, so while it was cooling down, I marked 3 dots to separate the 3 different tongs, or reins, whatever they're called. Tines. We'll call them tines. Now I'm gonna punch some holes. Right now I'm just using a center punch. Next heat I'm going to use a flat punch. The reason I'm punching these holes instead of drilling them is because I actually want it to expand the steel. And that'll make sense later. At least I hope it does. It's going to take a couple heats, so bear with me. Alright, I'm on the last one. Alright, 3 holes. Alright, so I'm just going across these and slowly expanding them one at a time. Then I go to the next one, expand it a little bit, flip it over, then go to the next one, expand it a little bit, flip it over. Just trying to bring them all, expand them all evenly. So I can keep my spacing correct for my tines. So I got my 3 holes punched. And now I'm going to take the center of each one, close to center, my opening center, and scribe a line. Then I'm going to lay in some chisel marks while it's in a black heat. So we'll start doing the first one. Adjust it a little bit. So the advantage of chiseling this, I'm not going to lose any material. I'll make this front a little bit even wider so I can open up the tines. Cut anymore, getting hard. Brought you in for the last one. Quite a few heats getting to this point. Whew. Gloves getting hot. Yeah, having that sledge block stand done, that would have made this a lot easier. Not that this is terribly horrible. Alright, so that got me started, but not going to get me where I need to go. Do a little bit of free forming, then we'll start using the drift. Alright. It looks like it's a little wonky here. Put it in a vise and give it a little twist here. If you remember on the trowel, the seam was at the top. And that was because as I curled the socket here, that also started the the curve of the hander, the curve of the trowel blade. So on this one, I'm using this little bit of curve here. Ooh, gotta start to wash this. Using this little bit of curve here to start the way the claw is going to go. So on this one, the seam's going to be on the bottom. Alright, so I got the socket rolled with a bunch of pulling. So now I'm going to start shaping. Trowel part of this thing, I got to keep it hot in there because I don't want to. I think I'm in good shape. I'm past any stress on that, but just in case, I want to keep it hotter. So I'm using my rounding hammer to try it. Trying to curl those fingers down like they're doing. I don't want to get too cattywampus now. Starting to get a little bit cattywampus on me. I was able to get that to curve pretty far using my rounder. So, the problem is, it don't fit in my forge anymore. Yeah, it does. I'm going to get these tines in position and then probably do a few normalization cycles. Reset the metal. Because, yeah, this metal has been through a lot. It's been through so much. Yeah, so we'll get these, we'll get all these tines set up in the right position, and then I will not do 2 of them on one heat. Okay, so got them all set. And what I would like to do is curve them a little bit. Alright, so I've just been doing some minor tweaking and adjusting and doing some normalization cycles. Obviously the tines are way too long, but I'm not going to attempt to do anything with them while I'm forging. I'm going to cut those off when this thing cools down, but I'm going to go ahead and let the metal reset. This is like, I don't know, maybe the second normalization cycle. So then I'm going to grind these tines to the shape that I want. And then I'll do the final tweaking on them. They'll be a little bit easier to move after I get a lot of that rag and stuff off of them. So, all right, but so far, turning out pretty decent. I think I am going to do a heat treat on this. Temper it to a spring temper. Shouldn't be a problem, seeing how it's a spring clip for a railroad. And yep, but first I'm going to continue tweaking on it until I get it where I want it. But this is where we're at so far. Alright, here it is. Fresh off the grinder. Got, still warm from the grinder. I got it all clawed up and nice and fat in the front. Kind of tapered it to the rear side. Kind of got a grabbing action. So kind of reminds me of my dog's nails, and I know my dog can dig a hole pretty quick, so maybe this will do the same. So I am going to go ahead and heat treat this, and I'm going to heat treat it up to here, and I'm going to let the colors run and let it temper itself. So I'm looking for a blue on the temper, so after I dunk it, I'll expose some metal, and I'm just going to sit there and wait for it to turn blue. I want it to be nice and springy, so I think right now, if I didn't heat treat it, it can bend. So if you stuck it in the ground, it could get stuck and could possibly bend. So I want to get a spring temper on it so to prevent that from happening. So hold on, and that's what we're going to do next. There's the blue. Alright, so here we are at a heat treat. Can't really tell what color we wound up at. Looks like a light blue, so that's about 630 degrees, I'm thinking, according to my chart. It looks like a pretty good light blue, and I'm fine with that. I just wanted a little bit of a spring on it. I didn't want it to bend. I definitely don't want it to break, so I just wanted to have a little bit of a heat treat on it. So I think around a light blue is going to be fine. It's saying it's about 630 degrees according to my chart. So all right, we'll let her cool down, and I'll clean her up, and we'll talk about what we did today. All right, so here we go. Out of heat treat, out of temper. It's cooled down to the touch. I didn't have to brush it anymore. Brushing it with the oil still on it actually cleaned it up pretty good. I did wipe it down with a towel, get all the wet oil off of it, so it's already got a burnt oil finish onto it. So, but yeah, I mean, it turned out pretty decent, I guess. First time I've ever made anything like, well, it's actually the second time I've ever made something like this. I did make another one of these in the past, but it was just a flat plate that I welded to a pole, and that really didn't count. I wanted to make something of one-piece construction with a socket, and I did. I still need to put a hole in the socket, and I'll probably do that before I go in tonight, but I am wrapping this video up. This will be in my Etsy store very shortly, so you can look for this at my Etsy store if you're interested. You can also look for knives and a bunch of other stuff that I have listed up there. You know, also check me out on YouTube and Rumble, of course. Remember to hit the like button, share, and subscribe if you don't mind. And I did bring back my my Instagram account, so some of the stuff you may not see on YouTube or Rumble, stuff I might be working on in the background that I just can't video because I'm busy doing other stuff. You can see some of those projects pop up on Instagram. I recently posted a Bowie knife that I was working on in the background, and I posted a sword, my first sword ever, that actually survived heat treat. Yeah, I posted that on Instagram as well, so you can look at that. You can look for that on at Metalman Productions on Instagram. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the project. It's a little bit different, off the beaten path, and you know, just kind of getting ready for spring, celebrating spring, and this is the kind of stuff that people are looking for. You know, you go out and buy these things in the hardware store, spend 35, 40 bucks on a piece of crap that usually breaks before the summer's over. So hopefully something like this kind of tool can last someone a lifetime. All right, I'm gonna end this here, and thank y'all once more, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, P.S. Special thanks to Lauren Wimberly for providing the railroad spring clip to make this project. Yeah, greatly appreciate it. Really appreciate you, Lauren. Finally getting to some of these clips and getting some of this stuff used up, so I'll get there. Thanks, man.